think I am on. Hello, everyone. Cue the applause. Woo! This is our very first tea with Teresa. I have my tea today. Well, I have tea every day. I love tea. This one, unfortunately, though, is caffeinated tea. I usually try to stay away from caffeine. Let me take off my glasses so there's no reflection. But I love to drink tea. It helps me wake up. It calms me down. And I'm hoping that's exactly what this tea with Teresa will do for the rest of you. This is going to be just a conversation, very informal. We can talk about, the positive things that we're doing during this time. But before we get into that, I want to point out something. It's kind of funny, but then it's also kind of frustrating as well. I have 4 children, just in case you didn't know, and I also have a grandchild. And 2 of my children are adults. They're out in the world. They're doing their thing, having children. And my 2 youngest, who are teenagers, are still at home. And my 16-year-old has been working very hard to finish high school early. She actually started college through the Smart Scholars program when she was 13, and she wanted to just get on with it with college. So she asked me if she could graduate early this year. And I said, if that's what you think you can do and you want to do, go ahead, do it. So she's been working hard to graduate high school early, and she's been very frustrated and extremely sad at the fact that all her hard work she's not really going to see the fruits of her labor with graduation and prom and everything like that. So with that being said, she still works hard on getting all her assignments done. The other day, this is the chuckle part. The other day, she goes, I think I was in a conference meeting with my team, and she yells in frustration because she got a message from the school district that Regents is still on, and they're going to find a way to do Regents. So she's like, this is ridiculous. First of all, my teachers are giving homework. Don't they realize it's spring break? And there's a method to this madness that I'm speaking about, but I just wanted to share it with you all. And she says, it's spring break. What is wrong with them? And we shouldn't be doing this. And now we have to have Regents. This is ridiculous. Then I hear her tapping away on her keys, and I'm like, what's going on over there? And she says, I'm sending an email to the governor. If she is not my child. So she sent an angry email, I call it a hate mail, to the governor, really complaining about the fact that Regents is going to happen. And she said this makes absolutely no sense. Now, rewind a little bit. Last week, the district decided, Schenectady City School District, I'm not sure if this is true with all districts, and I'm sure someone on my team will probably fact check this. But the Schenectady City School District decided that the state tests would no longer, be administered due to the crisis, the health crisis. So no one's going to take the state tests. Now, for years, I have always opted my children out of the state tests. So, for different reasons, and I don't want to get into it, but I think most of us know that the state tests are not, they don't benefit the students nor the teachers. So they were happy at that, even though they weren't going to take them anyway, but their friends are now happy for those parents who had their children take the test. So now she's like, well, why are we still having Regents? So the reason why I'm mentioning this is because through all of this, I'm on Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, every social media outlet that I can find. I'm watching the governor at 11 o'clock every morning, just like everyone else, and seems like most of America. And I'm hearing from adults all day, every day, all the time. My phone does not stay charged. And But we're forgetting, even though we're kind of stressed over the fact that a lot of parents are homeschooling with their kids, has anyone stopped to ask their kids how are they doing? Like, how are they perceiving this? What's going on with them? And I ask my girls every day. And this is even before this. Like, I always ask them how you're doing, whatever, because they're mini me's, and I know I usually keep everything in, and I don't often express unless I'm at that point. So please check in with your children and just ask them what's going on. Just tell me, and just let them vent if you haven't already done it. And this also brings me to the next point. Mental health. I know for me, I am okay with being in the house. It sometimes is a problem, and my family members and my children are like, "Mama, you got to get out of the house." So I am totally okay with this. A lot of people kind of laugh, some guffaw when I say I'm an actual introvert. I don't really like going out. I laugh at myself too because I'm a dancer, and some of my dances on. I see you, Cheryl. How you doing? Hi, Noni. Hey, Lori and Scott. Hi, Scott. But some of my dancer friends are here, and they see how I am on the dance floor. Every Wednesday, Noche Latina, I'm always dancing. And if I'm not dancing, I'm also dancing in my house, screaming to the top of my lungs because I think I'm Whitney Houston and things like that. And my kids are pretty much used to me being an introvert. And I have a lot of extroverted friends. And, my friend Christine, I message her and I ask her, how are you doing? I know this is driving you crazy. Some of my family members, but I think what we're forgetting is our children. Like they've gone from leaving the house as early as they need to, some at the crack of dawn, to go however far to school, to sit in a classroom with most of their non-friends, family, and this person teaching at them all day long, to getting up in the morning, sometimes late in the morning. Don't tell nobody. I let my girls get up a little late. But keep it a secret, y'all. And then to sit in front of a computer and just do work for those 8 hours straight. This is a big transition for them. You think it's hard for you as adults? And I know on our website, we have a page for COVID-19, and we have some resources, and there's a mental health hotline. It should be on there, but just not only just do a check-in with yourself, check in with the kids, check in with your family that have children. If you don't have children, check in with your fur babies. My cat is not happy we're home all day, although she cries. She cries every time we leave. But every day, she's like, "Why are you still here?" And she's kind of been acting up lately. I was on a phone call, and she decided to ravage my work box, so I had to yell at her. But, check in on all your babies, fur babies and all. I just want to say that mental health is key, and it's not said enough. And I'm happy, however, that the governor finally said something about it. But this is a lot for people to take. I think the other day it started to get to me, and I told my campaign manager, I'm getting a migraine because it's just so much was happening all at once, and I'm home and I can't move and do something about it. So other than that, I'm pretty good. I'm catching up on a lot of things. Hi. Oh, hi, Emma. Hi. I'll tell the girls you said hello. Hi. I kind of made some notes because I don't want to forget to say certain things, but I'm trying to make this as informal as possible. It's just tea with Teresa. Let me take a sip. I actually love teacups. So Christmas gift, birthday gift. Thank you, please. I love mugs. I love cups, glasses. I think I have a problem. I have a small collection. So, but I wanted to say another thing about COVID-19 before I go on about nonsense. I was reading an article about Ellis Hospital here in Schenectady, and I'm curious about other hospitals throughout the district, and I'm sure my team's probably going to work on that as well if they haven't already started. But there was awesome movement. And I mentioned this the other day about people who were sewing masks, which is part of the personal protective equipment that's been, in dire need of all across the state and, of course, the country. And a lot of people were sewing masks together. And Ellis Hospital had put out a notification, well, a little needs list, a long needs list, which is sad, but, excuse me. And they said that they actually fully appreciate all the masks that are coming in, and they're asking everyone to just stop sewing. They love all the support and everything, but thank you so much. They have what you've already sent. Just stop sewing now, and they're working on other things. And I thank everyone for giving your talents to sewing those masks for all of our healthcare providers at a time like this. And I ask that if you want to still help, my team is actually working on a comprehensive list of ways that you can help. So they're going to be putting that out. I think my campaign manager just said something. And also, instead of buying material to make masks, or you just don't know what to do, I have an offer for you later on in the broadcast, and I'll talk to you about that. A natural introvert, Patrick Nelson. Yes, so much for being an honest politician. I am so serious. I am. I actually really like what introvert doesn't mean antisocial. Thank you, Noni. Exactly. Exactly. I know, right? Hi, Ellie. How are you? Hey, Heather. Oh, thanks, Ellie. I'm sorry. The comments are kind of delayed. What did you say? Yeah, but it's not being able to lobby our politicians is killing. I know, Scott, I have opportunity for you coming up. So can everyone hear me okay? I just want to make sure because I'm getting a phone call. I'm on my cell phone, and because the image seems to be nicer. So I just want to make sure the sound didn't go out. Phones still work. Yes, phones. Actually, I'm going to talk about that. But hold off a minute, you guys. New York Health Campaign has a webinar in 20 minutes concerning the New York Health Act and the coronavirus. Oh, okay, Scott. So if you have to go off and go look at that, I'm going to be a little longer than 20 minutes. But, all right. So let me just say a couple of things, because I know some of you, all of us, actually really support New York Health Act. So I said something about let me see, kids doing okay. All right. What I have time for. I have time for more tea. I tried to make this as tasty as possible. I actually like herbal tea. But I am a DIY nut. My father was very handy. He was a carpenter / electrician / everything with I think he had like a 5th grade education, but he did a lot way back in the day. I won't tell you how back in the day that was, but I mean, I'm a grandmother. You know how old I am pretty much. You can Google it. But when I was younger, he taught me how to make and fix everything. I always thought it was just useless, just stuff. But whenever I look at something that's broken, I can always see how to fix it. So when I grew up, I decided that whenever I had a chance, I was going to maybe build something, whatever I wanted to do, fix things. I love tools. I love power tools and things like that. What I have more time for now is to refurbish, rehab, and build things. So I think I've done, I did my whole bed set. I redid that. That's a really high armoire, a side table, my whole bed frame. I took apart piece by piece, sanded it down, steam cleaned it, painted it, and put it back together. Actually, I rebuilt it because I took off the middle. Let me see what else I had time for. Yesterday, I was up till 2 a.m, redoing a mirror, repainting it and everything like that. I tried my hand at upholstery. I'll post some pictures. I think I did it on a website. Oh my gosh, it's escaping my brain. I forget. But I have time to do my DIY stuff. And because the girls are stuck inside this apartment, I am actually going to be redoing our front porch with the permission of my landlord. And I am going to build them a bench, kind of like a chaise lounge, and put up curtains and everything and make them like their little oasis out there on the front porch. So when they're tired of being inside, which it doesn't seem to be happening, I have to drag them from their rooms. They can go out on the front porch when it's nicer and sunnier, because we're going to be here for a little bit. So that's what I have time for. I don't have time actually to remember what time it is. Today I harassed my team saying, I have something to do at 10 o'clock. I have something to do at 10 o'clock. What do I have to do at 10 o'clock? I asked my scheduler. And they said, Teresa, there's nothing on the calendar. I was like, are you sure? Like, I stressed for like 2 hours in the morning trying to figure out what I had to do at 10 o'clock. I even went on my teacher email to see what I was missing, and it was absolutely nothing. And I have absolutely no idea what time it is most of the time of the day. That's kind of, headache. Let me see, what else? Oh, so I wear glasses for the most part to see everything. I can see you guys because the phone is very close. But if this phone was further away, I wouldn't be able to see anything that you guys are saying. All right, Scott, I'll see you later. Let me see, I know, but I got a bust on my friend here. Yeah, Patrick, get out of here. I ordered some new glasses, and I wanted to like the big 80s round frames, right? Because I got a new haircut, just in case anybody didn't notice. It's not a new haircut, actually. I chopped it off myself, 6 inches. I was really surprised. So I wanted new glasses to go with my new do. Bringing back that 80s, 90s style. And I realized I can't even go and get my glasses fitted. So that's a little bummer. And the dentist, my dentist office said, don't call us, we will call you. So can't go to the dentist. Let me see. Oh, I had this funny conversation earlier today. It's really funny. I was looking at the bank account, watching, the pennies just drain away, because I'm unemployed at the moment, as everyone else mostly is if you're not essential, which is funny, right? Because teachers are essential. Anyway, so I looked at the bank account, and mine's connected to my daughter, who has moved on and has her life and her child. And but we stay connected, so I can easily transfer money for my grandchild and for herself. So I look, and she was in the negative, and I freaked out, and I said, what's going on? So I transferred what money I had, not what I had, but I transferred money to fix her negative. Then I called CEFQ. I was on hold for almost 25 minutes with CEFQ. It's crazy. Didn't think, like, how are they doing their call center time, right? Until the woman answers the phone. This is very important and interesting, because it's something that we don't think about, right? And the woman answers, and I tell her what the problem is. I said, I thought all fees and all those surcharges and all those things were canceled during this time. Why did why did CEFQ, not her? I said, why did CEFQ charge her the overdraft fee? And she said, well, it's, and this is for everyone too, and I think this is mostly with all banks and other credit unions. It just automatically happens, and you have to call in or say something, because they're not going to be like, oh, Heather's got an overcharge fee, let's fix that. No, imagine there's thousands and thousands of people out there who have bank accounts, and they're not watching every last one of ours. So you have to call in and make sure that they fix your fees if you get overdraft fee, or anything like that. So I called, and she said, that's all right, we'll fix it. So she fixed it for her. But before she did, she said, hold on a minute, please. And then she goes, I know, I'm coming, just a minute, if you just give me a second. And I said, whoa. And I stopped, and I said, oh my gosh. And I said, are you working from home? And she said, yes, I'm working from home. And I was like, I said, is that your child in the background? She goes, yes. yes, he wants me to turn something on, but I just want to, if please, I'm so sorry. I said, do not apologize. I said, it's really reassuring though, because I wasn't sure if how you guys were doing this. So we kind of talked about that. It was kind of funny because the little boy, she said that, I told her that I was in a conference with other women who are running, with Eleanor's Legacy. And my daughter runs up to me and she kind of like sticks her book in my face with a note on it saying that I needed to help her right away because she was having issues. And I'm trying to smile and say, hey girls, yes, let's, run as a girl type thing, all us girls in here together. And I'm still trying to stay, and I was in the middle of talking, and I'm trying to stay in conversation and not look over at my daughter who's got this notebook in my face. And I explained that to her. I said, I know how it feels when you have your child there and they're not understanding that you're working because you're home with them. So she needed my attention right away, and I couldn't give it to her, right? Can confirm that Heather gave and I a heart attack. Yes, I did. I'm sorry. But anyway, back to the story. So I said, I understand. She says, oh, I got one for you. And this is all while she's fixing my daughter's negative in her account. So she goes, so I'm on a conference call with my coworkers, and we're talking about how we're doing, the at-home call center thing. And she says, so my son, he's 4 years old, she says, he comes behind. She said, now I left him and he was fully clothed. Yep, I'm going there. And she says that he showed up behind me in the video conference call with absolutely no clothes on. And I cracked up laughing. I was like, we have experiences like this, right? Right now, all of us are going through this, and I just couldn't stop laughing. I said, I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you, because children, if you cannot check yourself mentally, children will help you. They will make you realize, like, what you're worried about is so ridiculous. Like, and you just have no choice but to laugh and say, oh my gosh, children, right? They're just awesome. They're wonderful chaos. They're just wonderful, wonderful, beautiful chaos. And I think that was just an important thing to say. So on my list of things to talk to you about. Let me see. You can follow. Hi, Natalie. How are you? How's everything over there? I hope you're staying well. Natalie used to be one of my interns when I worked at the Underground Railroad History Project of the Capital Region. Hi. Let me see. Hi, Fatima. Is anyone, she's a fellow Noche Latina dancer. Is anyone drinking tea? It's supposed to be tea with Teresa. If you don't have tea, please go get some tea. Stay watching, take me with you to wherever you're going to get your tea, but drink tea. Speaking about tea, I remember when my house is not too far from my apartment, and I'm selling it. And this woman was searching for a house. She eventually became our neighbor, and there was a house for sale across the street from ours. Some friends of ours had moved out up north, and my girls were good friends with their children, but they had to move because of work. So they sold the house to this other woman who had 2 children of her own, which eventually became friends with my younger 2 children. But she purchased the house because her girlfriend told her that the woman across the street knows Russian. So that would be me. I understand Russian, and I decided to go to school to learn it properly, because when I was growing up, I grew up with a lot of different languages around me, in the family and everything. So the woman purchased her house because of that, and I decided, she's Russian, she's Russian. I decided that I would invite her over. You know how you watch those TV shows and someone moves in and then a woman comes with a fresh, pan of some big good or something, maybe a casserole or whatever. So I didn't want to go to her door with stuff. I instead invited her over to my porch and her children to have a tea party, because we actually had tea parties. I remember the little boy down the street loved our tea parties. Brandon, I'm calling you out, and I don't know if you're on my Facebook or not, but I'm calling you out. He loved the tea parties, and he always wanted to know if he could come back. And I say this because when I invited her over for tea, she thought because I'm American that I didn't know how to make tea. But I do, because I love tea. Besides wine, I love tea. So I brought out my little tea sets that I have, and they had boiling hot water in them, the little ceramic teapots and the little teacups, and I had the nice doilies on the table and everything on the front porch. And she came over, and then I had like German chocolate and biscuits and some stuff like that. And she said, "Wow, we're having tea." She says, "Wow, I'm totally impressed. I didn't think that it was going to be boiled water. I thought it was going to be like microwaved water." I was like, no, I'm a tea snob. So I'm really happy to share my tea with all of you. And I really hope that you have some tea. The silver lining in all of this, we may just be a little more in tune with him. Exactly, Noni. And that's why I said what I have time for, right? Just to get you thinking about that. Like, I have time to actually, like, I sorted my tea box. Like, that was just glorious to me because I sort the packages, color coordinate them. I have issues. And I have time to, like, clean every day. I know most people don't want to, but I love to clean, and I love a clean house. And do my DIY and really look at my girls, like, and see them growing and spend more time with my grandson instead of saying I have to run out and go do something and leave him with his aunts to watch. So definitely, Noni, there's definitely a silver lining to this. There's a bear roaming Schenectady streets now. Or I'm not sure where in the district exactly, but it's in Schenectady County, and it was out the night before, and it was out again last night. So the wildlife is just reclaiming already. So he hasn't turned any garbage cans over or attacked anybody, just walking around curious, probably trying to figure out where all the humans have gone. He probably did some people watching, and now we're all inside. So definitely there's a silver lining. Funny though, I was also reading that there's a lot of people still out on the road. People stay home. Like right now is not the time to be going out. You don't really absolutely have to. The other day, last week before the lockdown, actually the day before the lockdown, and I knew it was going to happen, I said to the girls, we have a chance to go get some takeout food, and we did. We got some Thai food, and I said this is going to be the last time for a very long time that we'll be able to do this because I'm an asthmatic, so I'm not going to go risk my health, and my children are asthmatics, or my health, or anyone else's health for that matter. I could be asymptomatic and still give the virus to someone else who would, get it like that. So it's really important that we think about other people. And what is this? See exclusive pics of Teresa and team by following her on Instagram account. My team is hard at work. Yeah. If there's any questions that you may have, anything you want to ask, please ask away. I'm a teacher. I like to talk, but I really like to talk about stuff that, I've planned to talk about, which I already had. But I want this to be as comfortable as possible. It's all like positive things. Ooh, I got to watch Phantom of the Opera and be Christine all over the house with my children putting their fingers in their ears because I'm screaming to the top of my lungs because, I'm an opera diva, just in case you didn't know. But anyone else, anything that anyone has had more time to do? Positive things. That's what I want to hear. I keep saying I'm going to go for a walk. I gained a little bit of weight, and I definitely need to go for a walk, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do some jumping jacks or something. Anyone else? Anyone? Let me go back and look through this. Let's see. Oh, hi, Steven. I didn't know you were watching. I'm sorry I didn't see you. How are you? Let me see. Looking. I hope Scott comes back and gives us some information on what's going on. Let's see. What else? Kate, what are some books you and the girls are reading? Kate. So, I do read. I read 3 books at once. And I tend to, that goes a lot with TV shows as well. I'll watch like 2 or 3 TV shows, not at once, obviously. But with books, I tend to read one book and then read another one and another one. And I think most of my books are on my phone. Life is crazy now, but definitely more time for family. Yes, definitely more time. So what books am I reading right now? I have a couple out here, actually. Let me see. These are ones that I'm actually trying to get the girls to read. And she, especially my youngest, she definitely rejected the idea. Hold up a second. It's getting a little dark. The Other Wes Moore. I think some of us have read this. It's really a good book. And I tried to get her. This is actually from you can see my name on there. This is from my 6th grade library when I taught 6th grade. Silly me tried to get my daughter to read a history book. And I promise you, I did not have these books here to talk about them. It's just my campaign manager suggested it. And I was like, yeah, but I don't read books at night. And then, so she asked. But anyway, so I'll tell you. These are just on the table because I'm reading some of them actually. And my daughter, I tried to get her to read these. So this book here is What If. It's a historical book. And it's not historical, but one of my favorite historical writers, it's David McCullough, if you can see that, authors, David McCullough. And this is actually about military history. So I tried to get my daughter to read this to try to get her to see what America and the world could have been like if certain things didn't happen the way that they happened. Did you know Teresa portrayed Christine Daae in her home adaptation of Phantom of the Opera? Yes, I do. I try my best. My daughter actually does it at least twice a day. Drives me nuts. What are your opinions for online education and the ability for school districts to deliver it equitably? So, great question, Noni. So, we know that equity in education is an issue, right? And Schenectady, being mostly black and brown community in the school district, especially in immigrants, they know that they have that issue, especially with disciplinary, how they handle disciplinary issues in the school district, and also education. We know this. So I was really kind of nervous for all of us, especially our black and brown children, when this happened. And I didn't realize how much it actually, like, I'm always thinking of outside of myself and forgetting that I'm brown as well, and my children are. But I'm always thinking about how other people, so I was thinking of how are they going to access the internet? How would they access the materials, period? How, if we're told not to congregate, how would they receive the paper copies of this? So what they're trying to do is get the technology to everyone so the children have access to that, and then, I guess, connecting them with internet. I won't be able to fully respond to actually how that's going, because I realized that I borrowed actually a laptop from a friend of mine, Patrick. Thank you for it. Kenny's using it. Thank you so much. Because I don't have internet here at the house, at the apartment, and the girls usually use their cell phones for everything, and we use that as a hotspot. And I didn't realize that we're affected by this as well. They can't really access that material. Now that I have to go online and teach my students, I said to my boss, I don't have internet access. I don't have access to a printer. I can't print anything because my printer died on somebody's campaign. I won't say who that was. Wait, I think that was mine. Yeah, I was about to blame it on Patrick. So I realized that I am in the same situation as all those other people that I've been worried about. I've been worried about them not having access to these things, and I don't. So my opinion is, it sucks. We are not very rich and we're not extremely poor. Can you do me a favor, baby, and give me the light or turn on that light over there because it's getting dark. And, oh, that's better. Look at me. Put my hair down. So my opinion is that we have a lot of kinks to work out and make sure that everybody has access in an equitable way. And I don't think that it's going to be 100%, but I think at least we can get somewhere close to where most of us, again, and a lot of kids are not going to have it. We got to think about the home. We have to think about the home environment, if it's conducive to that. And we know a lot of our kids don't come from safe or happy or even have a home. So everyone's not going to get it, I can tell you that much. Anyone else have any other questions? Let's see if there's any other books. Where's my other books? Let me see. I think those are I have two more here, but my daughter rejected them. Boys or Dogs. I thought for sure as a 13-year-old that this would be one. You're welcome, Noni. Thanks for the question. I'm sorry. I just feel really sad about it because I know that everyone's not going to have access to it. Not at all. And if they have access to it, it's not going to be good. It's a hard situation for all of us. But I thought my daughter definitely would like this book, but she looked at it and said, eh. I haven't read it as one of my 6th grade books too, and this is a book I haven't read as well. It's called Out of My Mind. It's a fish jumping out of a gold. I thought she would like this, but it's about an 11-year-old and her issues, and my daughter said no. So, okay, it's telling me that something app has stopped working. All right, can everybody hear me okay? Everyone can hear me okay? Just let me know if the sound is okay. I turned off all my notifications, but apparently other notifications feel that they still need to come through. My tea is getting warm. It's not hot anymore. Anyone else? Do you think districts making an attempt to provide male in education is worthy? So I work with BOCES, and they're trying to do that. And my personal opinion, actually, is that it's not going to work for those who actually need the teacher there in their face. And thank you, Noni and Kate. They actually need to be in the classroom. I know me as a student, Noni, when we went to school together, we had some options to do online classes at SCCC. And I chose, if it wasn't a class that you absolutely had to take online, you took it online, right? You had the option to come into class. I had to go into class and had to physically be there and feel the whole experience in order to learn. I had to sit there and write everything and look at the teacher and read their mouth, their lips, and look at the stuff on the board and everything, and write everything down. I had to hear everything, I had to see everything, I had to feel everything. And a lot of people learn that way, right? A lot of people, hi, Aunt Irene, how are you? A lot of people learn that way. So my students, I know for sure, they range from anywhere from 17 all the way up to 75. When they're in my classroom, it is totally student-centered, but I am also engaged, if that makes sense. A lot of people don't understand what student-centered means, but I give them a responsibility of learning and grasping, and I also give some of that teaching responsibility to them as well, to teach each other. So it's an environment that's interdependent on success, right? And a lot of students, especially Black and brown students, learn that way. And I hear it a lot, and it never fails, how many different classes I have, how many different students I have, they all say the same thing. Wow, Miss T, this is not how it was when I went to school. I'm teaching you everything you learned in 4th and 5th grade and 1st grade and 2nd grade. I'm teaching you all the same things. I'm just reminding you what you forgot so you can take this GED test. And they're like, I don't remember any of this. This is not how it was, because the way I teach is different. It's more engaging, and they're more responsible for their learning. And they're very successful because of that. And I say, you weren't successful, or school wasn't successful for you, so here you are today, right? So that mail-in stuff, if I have a packet and you're telling me to do this, even being stuck in the house, I will find something else to do other than that packet. And then if I get stuck on something, and I tell my students this, if you get stuck on that, leave it alone, move on to the next thing. Don't even go back to it. Just go on to the next thing, unless the next thing is dependent on that. Try your best, and if you still don't get it, just move on. Find something else in the packet to do. Don't get stuck there. But we're relying on these people who have, in my case, I'm saying in my case with my adult students, who have for a long time put their education aside for life to give them a packet. And now we're trying to give the same responsibility to children. Give them a packet or something, mail in home, and then tell their parents that they got to help them. Really? I'm a teacher. I teach all subjects. My girls come home with their homework. I go, what is this mess? Well, how did they tell you to do this? I'm so serious. I can't help them, and I teach. What did you say, Noni? Let me see. You made an excellent point when you asked us to compare how hard working from home is as compared to your children trying to educate online. I'm struggling to work at home, so I know. Yes, exactly. Exactly. They're definitely struggling. And I sit at this table right here, and I'm there for my girls. For the most part, they don't like me to get involved because I'm a teacher. And that's okay. I'm not offended by it. Like I said, I look at it and I go, wait, how are they doing this? Like I think my daughter's doing linear equations or something like that. And I'm listening to the teacher and his online video that he has. The video's this way. And I just cracked up laughing because I'm like, you got to turn your head to look at it. And he kind of made a mistake, and he spoke about the variable as something else. It was just really ridiculous. And I said, what? And I started to say something, and my daughter goes, Mommy. I go, oh, sorry. But the teacher corrected himself. But either way, yeah, definitely, Noni. It's gonna be a struggle. It's not gonna be as successful as we want it to be. But we will have some success as long as we all stick together. And teachers, parents can call teachers. I emailed my daughter's teacher so much, I think they're tired of me. And I said, what is this? Why did you do this? Can you get some differentiation into this lesson? I know they're tired of me, but, email your teachers and ask. And with you, Noni, as with me, connect with your supervisors and say, I have no idea how to do this. I had to do that with my supervisor. I said to her, I can't fill out this form because I have absolutely no idea what you want us to do. Like, I just learned about this the other day, and you want me to do this. So I couldn't. I told her I couldn't fill out the form. So tomorrow we'll be having a meeting. Let's see. Do you know where Teresa stands on an issue? Yes. You can also go to my website, teresaforsenate.com, and see my issues pages, and you can see also. We had a discussion on, I'm running for Senate, so that means I have to ask for money. And we were trying to find ways to ask people to fund the campaign without it being crass, for lack of a better term. I think that's a really good term, especially in a time like this. Mostly everyone's unemployed. We're working off of the little bit of savings that we have left. Or we're just starting to get like unemployment, which is way, 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 way less than what we actually earn. Even with rent and mortgages and all that stuff being furloughed, we're still struggling. But I'm talking to you here on Facebook about other people not having access to this platform. There are people in the district who need to know that I am running for them. and for them, literally running for them. I'm running to be their representative. Where's my representative right now? I haven't seen hide nor tail of him. I think that's what, yeah, hide nor tail of him. I haven't seen him, heard from him at all. I even went on his website to see what's going on. Have not heard anything from him during this time. One thing I think he posted, that's it. What are you doing? We need to see our leaders. We need to hear from them. We need to see that they're struggling just as much as we are. That maybe they like tea, maybe they like coffee. You know, have a conversation with them. Bernie has been up there for how long? He's been doing this forever. And Cuomo is like the face of America right now. Really? So I have to, in order for me to run a successful campaign and make sure that others who don't have access to the internet sees and hears what we are doing for them. And in order to do that, I have to raise money and I have to ask people to donate. Like, we want to send out mailers to people who don't have access to internet. I want to hear from those people. And in order to do that, I need to communicate with them first. I can call them, but I also want to send them something that they can physically have in their hands. And, you know, hear from them. In order to do that, I need to ask for donations. So if for those people who were sewing, who were, you know, buying up material and things, if you still want to help, we are trying to get mailers out. If you want to sponsor like 10 mailer cards, $20, $10, $5, could help us get, like, the more money we get, the more mailers we can put out and more information, and the more we can reach people that we at this time don't even know what's going on with them right now. We don't know if they're sick, we don't know if they need food, we don't know. And a lot of the numbers and information that we have are not always correct. Those people that I cannot connect with online or by calling, I need to connect with by mail. And in order to do that, we have to ask for your support. So please, if you can donate anything, please go to ThearseForSenate.com. You can check everything out about me on there. We also have a COVID-19 page. If you have any questions, you can email me. My team and I, we're always vigilant at the email. And if you want to text me at 518-387-9871, I'm trying to keep my campaign phone on so that I can get your text. You do have to understand that, you know, I'm homeschooling, so maybe after 2 or 3, text me, and then you'll have my undivided attention. I message you. You have my phone number now. We need to chat. Check your Facebook messages. Okay, I have to run, but let's catch up. Okay, Noni, thank you so much. But if anyone can just help us support, and also we handed in all our petition signatures, and you know this, and because I ran for mayor last year and almost kicked out an 8-year incumbent, there are still hard feelings from certain Schenectady Dems. So they're trying their best to work against me and stop me from running for Senate, which is not in their best interest if they're working to make sure that a Republican stays in this seat. Like, either help Teresa get in or help the Republican. They chose not to help me. So they're trying to challenge my signatures on the WFP line, and we're going to have to pay, sorry, I'm twiddling with a pen if you see me looking off. We have to pay a lawyer in order to get our signatures, to argue for our signatures. So if you can donate anything at all towards that cause, that would help, please. ThearseForSenate.com. We have an Act Blue link. I don't know if Kate's going to put one up or not, but please. And hopefully we'll have more brighter things to talk about. And I want to talk about the rainbows. Maybe I'll put one up and we'll talk about that next week on Tea with Teresa. And talk to everybody soon. And thank you all for joining. Bye.